First of all, I want to say happy birthday to Kingdom Come Deliverance on their second year. Congratulations to the devs on, for me, what has become one of my most favourite RPGs of all time. Yes, many of you know out there that I am a massive Witcher fan. And while I enjoyed that title and all the DLCs, and you may have seen a video here on the channel where I called it a masterpiece, well, I've been very, very surprised by Kingdom Come Deliverance. You've probably noticed on the channel, my last 5 or 6 videos have been on this game. And it's hard to put into words what this game has done for me. It's made me appreciate that there are other RPGs out there that really, really do tick the boxes for me, shall we say. Bethesda titles such as Skyrim, the whole vibe of the fantasy element with the dragons and things like that, just, I kind of bought it because everybody else bought it. It just became one of those. But the combat in Skyrim and Bethesda games for me is just really not up to scratch. I think it's very, very poor. You stand there, you just swing and you do nothing. And while I'm sure Skyrim fans out there will cry foul now and say that Kingdom Come Deliverance combat is just the same, I thought that initially. It just felt like a bit of a button bash. I couldn't kill anything. But what's really here under this title in Kingdom Come Deliverance is an absolute gem. I think the difficulty curve with it being locked to first person view and the realism aspect that when you come into this game you can't do anything. You can't fight, read, ride a horse, archery. You literally can't do it. Now I'm about 45 hours now into this game and I've been doing side missions and getting sidetracked with other things. I haven't even really been doing the main missions. And yet I'm still not very good when it comes to combat when I find bandits out on the road. That's because I haven't been practicing with the sword and shield basically at all in those 40 odd hours. I've tended to stick with the bow, but even still now, 40 odd hours in, I'm not really done enough combat in order to be proficient in it. Now this game screams out for dedication and immersion, and that first-person immersion and the historical vibe, the accuracy, it's hard. Maybe I love this game so much because I love history. I've been looking at a lot of films online at the minute on Agincourt and the battle at Taunton, where 20,000 men died within an hour and a half. It's a forgotten battle that's kind of been forgotten, and this game has really, really infused my passion and history of wanting to go back and learn about what those men went through, and because they are us, their DNA is in us. And there are not many games that can really inflame me like that. Witcher 3 I loved because of the story and the characters, but this title takes it to a whole new level. It's almost like Call of Duty and then jumping into Escape from Tarkov. There's such a massive jump, and that realism and the difficulty really, really, really stands out for me as another game that I would probably say masterpiece. And I have cash in hand waiting to pre-order the collector's edition of their next unannounced title. That's how much I'm really enjoying this game at the minute. Now, I've got a couple of friends on Steam, and I've watched one of them play, and he skipped through the dialogue and the cutscenes, which for me is absolute sacrilege, because the story in this game, the side quests, the characters, and the cutscenes are absolutely epic. It is amazing. So I find that very difficult, and another friend of mine who's got the game just simply couldn't hack the difficulty and the steep learning curve. But that steep learning curve does get easier the more you get into it. I'm the first to admit I have jumped on the Wikipedia probably more than 10 times asking, what's this? How do I do that? Where is this? And where's that? And how do I do this? So I understand it completely. I'm in your peasant clothing and shoes as well. There's a lot of things in this game that I still have got to learn, and the time I've got to put in to be proficient at combat. You may see in some of my other Kingdom Come delivery videos that I have used the third-person camera, and I can tell you now that it's great for using cinematics and creating a few videos for you guys to tell a story, but once you in the thick of it, that first-person immersion is beyond any other RPG I have ever played, especially when you're using the bow, or even more actually when you're using one of the helmets. You actually get the view that a real knight in shining armor would have. I found myself in the last 40 or so hours using the caps lock key, which is the walking button. Instead of a little jog, you walk at a steady pace. And the game is just so beautiful in its assets and the audio and the forest and woodlands and villages, and it's hard to describe why you would want to just stroll through a village and just walk through a wood with the sun coming up and the birds cheeping. You would think that would become a very boring very quickly, but it's hard to describe. Even when I'm on the horse, Pickles, as I call him, I use the slow walk. I like to just trot through villages, through the streams, and it's really, really strange because you're not really pushing the game forward. But I find by doing this, my immersion is just increased tenfold. I put a video on Reddit, or it was actually a post on Reddit. I was talking about the size of the map was small, they said. Not much to do, they said, because a lot of people, when the original map was announced, people said it was small. But there's more content in here than a lot of other titles I've played that actually feels like it's interesting. If you think of a title where some people have played 500, even 1,000 hours, then that game has to be filled with enough content that's interesting. And a lot of the missions, I don't think I've even done one fetch quest in the entire game. The writing in this game is absolutely top-notch. The dialogue options, the whole story, even the side missions, is interesting and believable within the world that they have created, because remember, this game is based on historical place, facts, people, clothing, weapons. So if you love history, then this game is an absolute gem. And I really, really, really hope that eventually, maybe further down the line, because I'm sure they're already well on with the next title, I was hoping that they would do War of the Roses in York, maybe the Battle at Taunton, or even Agincourt with the English bowmen and things like that, because I would just absolutely, I would lose my mind if there was some historic English title that they were going to announce. I've got a funny feeling that they're probably going to stick with what they know, Czech history, because they are a Czech and Polish development team, so they've probably got more knowledge on that side. But if it was something like that, it would be incredible. Even if they went way out left field and they did something in Rome, you know, working your way up through from infantry all the way up, even if it was, say, Japan, would be absolutely fantastic, from peasant to samurai, etc. It would be an absolute no-brainer. So I know immediately, before the game's even announced, I will be getting the collector's edition of the next title that they announce. That's how much I love it. Just like we all did with Cyberpunk, a lot of us have ordered the collector's edition because, again, I know that's going to be a masterpiece. We all know that. In CD Projekt Red we trust. But Warhorse, I think you're up there with them. My friends, I definitely think you are up there. This game has completely changed my mind on RPGs, and it's also changed my mind on not believing what a lot of people said initially, that it was a small map, not much to do, it was buggy and glitchy. You name a title that hasn't got the odd bug in it. I don't think I've had one crash in this game. I've probably had, in those 45 hours, maybe 3, maybe 4 bugs, but nothing that was game breaking. And it's one of those games where, when I'm at work, I actually look forward to coming home and playing the missions, even the side missions, or just practicing at the archery range and things like that. And how many games can you really say that you can't wait to get home, not to rush through, but just to enjoy it as an amazing experience? So that kind of brings my video today to an end. I have thought about live streaming this game, and I have got some more of the role-playing videos on this title that you will see here on the channel, which you can probably tell I'm really enjoying. I know many of you are wanting me to do Dayz again, which I will, but I'm just really, really enjoying it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So happy birthday to Warhorse Studios and Deep Silver. Thank you for an incredible game. Hats off to every single one of you for not bowing down to SJW bullshit and all that controversy about putting black people in it and all this sort of stuff, because there wasn't any at that time. And if the next title they start to infect it with that SJW garbage and political correctness, they will fall hard. Because what people love about this game is that it's authentic, it's real, and it's gritty. So congratulations, I ordered the art book today because they've got a sale on the store, and I thoroughly cannot wait. So thanks for all the support, the likes, the loves for me and the studio, and I will be doing some more videos on Kingdom Come Deliverance real soon. And if you don't mind, I've got some soggy, wet slippers on. It's time for me to find some shelter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video coming real soon.